Do you remember the first time a video game made you dread opening a door? Do you remember the sound of zombie moans echoing through empty hallways, knowing something was waiting just off screen? Or maybe you remember the terror of running low on ammo, praying you could make it to the next save room before it was too late. For so many of us, this was the game that made us keep the lights on, the one that had us leaning forward, controller tight in our hands, listening for every creak and groan in the distance. This was Resident Evil 2. So let's bring back those forgotten memories, because your past hasn't been lost, but it has been archived. It's 1998. Capcom just dropped you right into the middle of a nightmare on the burning streets of Raccoon City, with nothing but a pistol and sheer panic to keep you alive. You didn't even have a chance to settle in. It's Leon Kennedy's first day as a rookie cop, Claire Redfield searching for her brother, and then bam, the streets of Raccoon City erupt in flames, zombies clawing from every direction. That opening crash sequence set the tone immediately. You weren't a superhero, you were just a person. You were overwhelmed, underprepared, and forced to scramble through alleys and burning storefronts, while barely holding it together. The game wastes no time. It throws you into panic mode before you even find your first save room. And once you finally make it to the Raccoon City Police Department, the whole mood shifts. The station wasn't just a backdrop, it was a character in its own right. Hallways creaked like they were alive. Locked doors teased you with mysteries you couldn't yet solve. Puzzle-filled offices made the building feel like part police HQ, part haunted mansion. You could almost smell the old wood and hear the silence pressing down, broken only by faint footsteps in the distance. It was eerie, claustrophobic, and unforgettable. Exactly the kind of atmosphere that made you grip the controller tighter than you actually realized. Resident Evil 2 wasn't just about mowing down zombies, it was about resource management. Every bullet mattered. Every green herb felt like a second chance, and every ink ribbon was the difference between progress and disaster. Every encounter was a decision. Do you waste shotgun shells on a liquor, or try to juke past and hope it doesn't catch you? Do you risk exploring one more room, or turn back and save while you still can? The save rooms became sacred ground. The comforting sound of the typewriter click, the soft music, the safety of the storage chest. It was like stepping into another world for a moment. You could breathe, reorganize, and convince yourself you were ready to head back into the nightmare. The fixed camera angles were very frustrating at times, but part of the tension. They limited what you could see, forcing you to step into danger blindly. Every screen transition felt like rolling dice with your life, because whatever was lurking just out of view could decide everything, and the details made it iconic. The way a single liquor clinking to the ceiling could paralyze you with fear, and the unforgettable shock of Mr. X tearing through walls in the B scenarios way before stalker enemies became a survival horror standard. Like Metal Gear Solid, this game's bosses were performances in their own right. They weren't just obstacles, they were nightmares made flesh. The mutated William Birkin, started as a man, became progressively more grotesque with every fight. His body sprouted eyes, claws, and muscle in impossible places. Each encounter pushed you deeper into the nightmare, showing you just how far humanity could fall when science went too far. Then came the giant alligator in the sewers, one of PlayStation 1's most iconic surprises. Suddenly, this wasn't just about survival horror, it was a full-blown monster movie. The sight of that reptile charging down the narrow tunnel is still burned into memory for anyone who played it. And if you knew the secret, there was a little Easter egg that turned this terrifying moment into dark comedy. If you ran past the alligator instead of wasting ammo, you could lure it, and boom, the monster's head explodes instantly. It was over the top, so cheesy, but for kids playing back then, it felt like discovering a hidden trick the game never told you about. And of course, the tyrant. Whether it was the trench coat wearing Mr. X stalking you through B scenarios, or the final clawed super tyrant showdown, it was pure adrenaline. His relentless pursuit made you feel hunted. No matter how prepared you thought you were, the tyrant reminded you that in Resident Evil 2, you were never safe. Each boss wasn't just a fight, it was an event. Something you'd swap stories about, your friends the next day, or your co-workers. What made RE2 legendary wasn't just the scares, it was the scope. The game came on 2 discs, one for Leon's story, one for Claire's, and together they introduced the groundbreaking zapping system that tied everything together. Play Leon first, and the things you did could change Claire's run. Take an item with Claire, it might be gone when Leon gets there. Unlock a path with Leon, it could already be open when you played Claire. It gave the game insane replay value. You weren't just beating the story once, you were uncovering how 2 perspectives intertwine. And with multiple endings, players spent months replaying just to see it all. And here's what made it magical. It wasn't just 2 stories. It felt like one living world you were peeking at from different angles. Back then, most of us didn't have online guides, so we relied on magazines, playground rumors, or just trading memory cards with friends to see what changed. Some kids swore there were hidden choices that could alter both discs, even if most of it was just speculation. But the mystery kept people replaying. The 2-disc packaging itself made the experience feel larger than life. Swapping discs wasn't just a technical thing, it felt like opening a new chapter in a novel or flipping the tape in a double VHS movie box set. It gave the game the cinematic weight, like you were holding something truly epic in your hands. And the cast became iconic. Leon, the rookie cop who became a legend, Claire, the determined sister willing to risk everything for family, Ada Wong, with her mysterious ways, always balancing trust and betrayal. Even side characters like Sherry Birkin and Chief Irons added layers that made the world feel alive. This wasn't just a game you beat in a weekend, it was a game you kept coming back to. Disc swapping, notebook scribbling, comparing notes with your friends. When the credits finally rolled, RE2 felt bigger than just a game. It was a survival horror epic that changed what we thought games could do. It took the foundation of the first Resident Evil and blew it wide open. Larger environments, scarier enemies, more complex storytelling. It was the moment survival horror stopped being niche and became mainstream. Even decades later, fans can still recall the feeling of stepping into a save room, the creak of RPD's doors, or the panic of hearing a zombie too close to see. The memories are so sharp that Capcom remade the entire game in 2019, and somehow, it still worked. It still terrified a new generation, proving just how timeless the original really was. RE2 didn't just define survival horror, it proved that atmosphere, tension, and storytelling could stick with us just as much as flashy graphics or fast action. It was the kind of game that left you haunted, in the best way. So tell me, what's the Resident Evil 2 moment that stuck with you forever? Was it the first liquor reveal, the giant alligator, or Mr. X crashing through a wall when you least expected it? Drop it in the comments and subscribe for more. If the PS1 survival horror era defined your childhood, and if you love thinking about how you'd actually survive in a world overrun with the undead, check out our sister channel, Zombie Survival Archive, where we break down whether you really make it out alive or not. And we'll also have a special Resident Evil episode coming out soon on that same channel. You don't want to miss it. Hopefully, we awaken some of your lost memories, because here on the Nostalgia Archive, your past hasn't been lost, but it has been archived. Thank you for watching our video.